I get more complaints about the circle formula than any other geometry topic. Every year I work with students and they run into a circle formula problem. They're like, oh, and they don't want to do it. They're just like throw up the hands. It's not fear as much as it is loathing. It seems like it's a terrible thing to remember. There's like a lot of parts. There's h and k out of nowhere. There's a radius square, right? And it is. If you look at it, it's x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals radius squared, where h comma k is the center of the circle. It sounds awful, but it's not really. And I don't know why they don't teach you guys this. I really, really don't. I've never figured it out. If you watch my distance formula video, one of the things I talked a lot about was how the distance formula is really just the Pythagorean theorem. We're using the Pythagorean theorem, except that we have to find the length of the legs of the triangle because they're not given. It's the same thing here. HK is our center. This is just some point on the edge, XY, right? Well, x minus h, that's like this, right? Y minus k. It just finds those distances, and because it's x and h and y and k, they're going to be perpendicular. Guess what? If I square them, add them together, oh, I've got myself a hypotenuse. I've got myself a right triangle. That's it. All this is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, these are almost always Markov problems. The one I've picked to work has a couple of little extra things in it just because I really want to cover them. But let me tell you where people mess up. There's two places. Here, they forget to square the radius. So step 1 or step 2 or whatever step it is you get to the radius, mark for that. And if you're really confused, look for the answers that are square roots of the other answers and mark those off, right? Like if you have a couple 2's and a bunch of 4's, it's probably not the 2's, right? Because those are the ones that aren't squared. That's probably just the radius. And here, minus and minus. Remember, we always subtract to find distance. If I start at mile marker 1, I run to mile marker 4, I didn't run 1 plus 4 miles. I ran 4 minus 1. I ran 3 miles. Let's hop into this full screen ACT problem. We'll get more into it. This isn't the toughest circle problem I could have picked, but it's a really representative one, and it should show you that these are not as hard as they seem to be. Okay, so we got this thing, this square that's wrapped around the circle. Circle is inscribed in the square, and we're given 4 points, and they're asking us for the equation. Now, before I even get started, I could come pretty close to finishing this. In fact, I could finish it. So obviously, my center is not going to be 4, 4, right? So that's out, right? That's not it either. Okay, and it's not going to be well, that's plus 2, right? That would mean the center was at -2, -2. That's not right. And then if I remember, this is supposed to be positive, right? Because a squared, whoops, that was awful sloppy even for me. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's not a squared minus b squared. That one's out. Okay, that was pretty easy. Well, let's back up a step. Let's do it a little bit of a longer way. Now, instead of being so nice as to give us this square, what they might say is that it's tangent to the axes at some value. All right, well, where would this be tangent to the axis? Well, if this diameter, this side of this square would be a diameter, right? Diameter of this would be 4. Radius would be 2, right? So 2 and 2. So our center would be 2, 2. Now here's a little hint. If they ever tell you that it's tangent to the x-axis at 2, the center of that circle will have an x-coordinate of 2. The h-coordinate will be 2. It's tangent to the y-axis at 2. It will have a y-coordinate, a k-coordinate of 2. The center will be 2, 2. That's just the way these work. Okay, so I know my radius is 2. So my radius squared would be 4. So using this strategy, I can get rid of a. It didn't do a lot for me. But now I can go back to my 2, 2 thing. This goes away. This goes away. And then you still just have to remember this. That goes away. Practice these because they will show up. They really will show up. And they come in a variety of formats. While I said this is representative, by no means is it the only way they ask this question. So spend a little time on it and you'll be rewarded for it on test day.